it's like,
still other stuff.
it's like there's nothing you can tell me about the Earth sphere. All right? That's what it makes it seem like I'm real smart. But see, there are places I'm Denny Dimwit. You know? That's the nature of, see, being...
Did you not remember about the 500?
On my first awakening?
Yeah.
No. Because what I did was, my awakening was not about particular things, it was about principle and law. So what I was doing was being fed, and the law just kept exploding in me and exploding and exploding until I stood at the beginning. So it was about law. Now, see, it's one of the things I've said to you about awakening. It prepares you to learn. That's what awakening does. It prepares you to learn, and you learn from everything, from what's going on around you. So, no, it's not, see, it's not a place that you're going to get, and there's no place else to be, because it's all about creation. And so you create things, you'll end up creating universes that you have to learn about. That's the fun. That's the fun. That's forever. That's eternity. Eternity is in the creation. There's never a place you get and you stagnate. See, that's what we want to do on Earth. We want to get here and we want to stagnate because food is good, fucking is good, you know, all this shit. We just want to... But you can't do that. The awakening, see, your being itself creates stuff. See? And then when you get in it and you start understanding it, that creation itself creates stuff. I mean, that's the magic of your being. It's the magic of your spirit. The truth is, God can never be recognized or realized. But that's not true. Because I recognized and realized God. But the moment I did that, God changed. All right? So here we go again. Because the force that it took to make God change was my recognition.
Okay.
You see, and that, boom, that expands. That's what keeps it going on and on and on and on forever. This is the game. This is the wonderful chase. This is life. You know, we can decide to do that together, or we can decide to do that apart, or we can decide however we want to do that. But it's still a decision.
You're awakening in having not had anybody on the earth to age you. It has something to do with your connection, but disconnection with the 500.
Well, it had to do with, that's what I came here to do.
Just by himself.
I came here to awaken, okay? And came here to awaken as an individual.
Because of the new era.
Right, because of the new time and the way the new time is set up. See? That's what I came here to do.
But you were awakened in the last lifetime,
Right.
too.
Right. In our last encounter together, I was already awakened. But I came into this lifetime. See, there were all kinds of things when I was a child that happened to me that I didn't know what it was. There were something used to happen to me when I was a little boy. My grandmother would always say, "You always look so far away." And my mother used to play Nature Boy to me. You know? all the time. You know, it's this, you know, and she called me on the phone and sing Nature Boy on. Oh, what the fuck, Nature Boy? All I knew about Nature Boy, I was thinking of somebody like Tarzan, you know, swinging through the trees. And my mother said, she said, you know, you always look so melancholy. Well, what would happen would be this sound would come, you know, and I'd hear this sound, and I'd catch hold of it, and I saw these things. And I would be looking at these things, and they thought I was just sitting there. But I was sitting there in this meditation with my eyes wide open, but I was someplace else. And I saw things. The seeing of these things led to two experiences. All of a sudden one day, everything just dropped when I was about 10 or 11, somewhere around there. And this peace just settled in over me, and it was like, there was all this quiet, and people were doing all this stuff, and it didn't interest me. All I was interested in was, wow. And then my little pee-pee got hard. And and it was like, whoa. Yeah, that feels good, but hey, how you? And so it shut off. And then about maybe a year later, it opened up again. But I was kind of too far gone in some other things, and it started bringing these dreams. And one of them was I was in a cotton field, and we were picking cotton, and the overseer kept riding back and forth on this horse. And I said to my grandmother, I'm gone. And he went back that way, and I jumped in the ditch, down the ditch, through the roads, and was gone. And I went to this shack, because it was something I had to get. And it had taken me a long time to get there, so when I got there, my grandmother was there. And I went in to get what I needed, and they were coming. And I said, I need some place to hide. And she said, hide under the bed. I got under the bed. They came to the door. They knocked on the door and said, where is he? And she said, there he is. And they shot me. And it was this white hot pain that just hit my chest. It woke me up, and I was like, and there was this pain. And that kind of stayed in my head because it was the most unusual thing, and it wasn't like a dream. And then years later, when my grandmother died, the recognition came. It was like when I was old enough to take care of myself, she died. And the recognition came that she had come back to make amends for what had happened. So there were these strange things. and with this energy, and there was all these other strange things that I would see, and there was stuff that I knew. I just knew. I had, when I was about 15, me and another guy, we were running whores and selling whiskey in Gulfport, Mississippi, and generally ripping people off for money, and lived in a place called Sewer City. And this guy was a cop. And see, I worked in the hotel. We both worked in the hotel as a busboy, making $80 a month. Or was it $60 a month? Some. And when I went to the door, and the guy came to the door, he had on a policeman's uniform. And he was asking me about whores. And then it was like, he didn't have on a policeman's uniform. All right, so it was experiences like that. That saved my butt, because when he started talking to me about whores and about whiskey, I don't know what you're talking about, man. I just a poor little colored boy, and I'm just trying to make a living. I'm just, I don't know, sir. Took my ass on out of there. It was those kinds of experiences that kept bugging me, kept tracking me. And like when I had played football, I just knew. I just would look, and I knew what they were going to do. So those kinds of things kept coming into my life to let me know something was happening, and I kept pushing them away because I was intelligent. I was a chemistry major, a chemical engineering major with a minor in biology. I'm a scientist. You can't, that blah, blah, that, yeah. I don't want to know about that. So it was there. So it was, I came here to do that, and it was just on my tail. But the thing about it, I needed a total experience in life. That's why my life has been so varied. I've done a lot of things on this earth. Like I said, when I was 15, we was running whores. I had worked in the summertime down at this hotel, and all the customers that came in, they wanted women. So that next year, after I had worked with this was a prostitute named, two of them actually. One was called Black Beauty, and the other one was called Big Apple.
Big Apple, the one the preacher?
Yeah, Big
Yeah.
Apple's the one the preacher
Yeah,
the preacher screwed Big Apple. And Big Apple, the preacher was walking down the street like on a Saturday afternoon, and she hollered across the street, "Hey, motherfucker, when you gonna come pay that pussy bill?" I think it was only like 50 cents a shot or some shit like that. But that year before, we had been running cons on people. I would pretend to be her son, because I was only like about 14 or something like that. Yeah. So we would rip people off for money and stuff, and then when I got ready to go back to school, we were getting ready to pull this con on these people, and I went down to get the money out of the bank. Well, I had already packed my bags. I just went and got the money and kept on going. So I got this big idea that the next summer when I go down, I'd see if I could find some of the high school girls who went to school there, see if they wanted to make some money.
Man.
So we left with about 4 or 5 of them and went on back down there the next summer, and we ran hoes all summer. Everybody came back and had lots of money, and you know, everybody.
Vacation.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And I learned about reefer, and so while I was down on the coast, and I brought back seeds and planted reefer and sold reefer. So
Great movie.
so my life was involved in a lot of things so that I really understood people and why they did certain things. And once those experiences were complete, boom, the awakening happened. Because you can only deal with what you understand. So it happened. I was abusive. I was an abuser. I can't say I was a child abuser because, yes, I abused children, but I also abused adults, men and women. I abused everybody. Okay, so I was, and I don't mean sexually abused, I mean upside their heads. So then I was ready. All right, I was ready to awaken because now, see, you have to understand what people go through in order to help them do what it is they need to do and to help them accept themselves and who they are. So I was ready. It happened. And that's kind of it. That's just to give you some background or some insight into the person. You know, so, yeah.
I want to ask you, when I first became aware of you here, this time, I was 13, I think it was 1973.
Mm-hmm.
It just occurred to me, 1973 is when I first met him.
Yeah.
And I also wanted to ask you, in relations to, I work in Legends, and I work the door. I think I may come in contact with about 1,500 people a weekend, individually. And it's like each person, I drop the last person to the next person. Like it's totally a clean slate. Each time I come to another person, it's like I mean, I may have 3 conversations going at one time. And each person, though, it's totally separate and different and apart from the other person, and no feeling is carried from the last person to the next person. It's, I guess the question relates to training and preparation more than anything.
Yeah.
You know,
You just got to do the same thing with everything else.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely the same thing with everything else. You don't bring anything from one point to the next. You just boom, 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 boom.
Freshness.
That's what makes it freshness and appreciation. That's what makes it happen. Well, that is it happening. That's it. Do it. I mean, just keep doing it. You know, that's one of the things that was that I was real good at. And you know, it was like I could go from here to here to here to here, you know, just like that, and just get it done, get it done, get it done. That's the whole key to in the moment, and that's the way you want to do your life. Just bam, 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 and you can do that if you don't cut in here. And you, I mean, you obviously know that, though. Yeah. Well, any other questions anybody want to ask? See, you've learned things about me tonight you didn't know. Okay.
How did you know who we were? 'Cause
I recognize you.
And did it, how?
That same exercise we've been doing today. That's how.
Did you know as soon as you met us or saw us?
Yeah. It doesn't. It's not. It's not difficult. See.
Then why you gave me a kind of a test, and you also said something to me that really stuck with me over the years, and that was that you were through gathering people.
Huh.
And it was amazing to me that after you said that to me, that the group sort of like doubled and tripled in size immediately, and I always.
I had to say certain things to you because you were very young and you were very confused. You had to be caught. It was like, you had to be caught. And so there were things that were said to catch you. And it worked. That's who you are.
Amazing.
It's that vibration. It's the same thing we were talking about today. This is why I want you have to keep working with this. You have to believe in magic. When I say in magic, it's not magic without cause. Magic being something outside the realm of your ordinary knowledge. Right? You have to believe, because if you believe, then you begin to see how it works. That's with this whole thing of vibration. If you believe, you'll see how it works. Because what I've told you is the truth. All right? I can't afford to tell you a lie because I told you that what I've said is the truth, and if you do this, you'll find out. See, so I've already put myself out there on the limb. If you do this, then you'll find out. So you have to believe. If you believe, you begin to see the proofs because you're looking for those proofs. In this whole thing with the vibration, you know. You know instantly. You may not say anything, but you know, because you have to find out where people have come to, what work they've done in this lifetime. Because there are people who have been with us in the past that just, they gone. They ain't no way in the hell they gonna wake up this lifetime. They ain't gonna wake up for another 150,000 at least. No.
Yeah, I came across somebody this past weekend, and I had that feeling. I know this person, but I couldn't say anything to him. I just like, God. Yeah. Wow. But I do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it works like that. It kind of works in such a way is that you may not have known them before, but you're open and bam, their whole story is right there, and you know them right here, right now. It's like, whoa. It's like, I've come up against people and my body is like, said, get us out of here, boss, quick. It's like, you see them totally in whole right there, and it's like, it's not a pretty picture. Anyway, so all of this, the stories, I guess is hopefully it will be of some benefit to you. It's, it's all just life. Like all the stories I said about like the kind of shit that I've done in my life. It's just life. And it's the things that we go through. And to say that you have no right to judge someone else. I know that because of where I have been. And I look and I see someone else doing what I've done. I have no right to judge them because they are having their experience and coming to what it is they're coming to. God is non-judgmental. It just gives you what you deserve. It gives you what you deserve because that's the law. You can't escape the law. You can't escape if you're walking on the beach leaving footprints. You can't do it. So, God is just. You must be just. And the only way for you to be just is you're not judgmental of people. That doesn't mean you accept their shit. But we'll meet for what we both are. You want to be an asshole? I can be a cosmic asshole. It's just to say, if you want to bring it, it's okay with me and it's okay with God. Because God doesn't judge. Nor am I. I'm just going to bust your kepi. That's it, and not even care. Because I can't. I just don't. It's like all the things in my younger life I tried to care about. I tried. The truth was I just didn't care. Just didn't matter. Okay, we're going to do some meditation now.